All right, welcome back to Minor League Esports here, brought to you by APM Music. We have one more series tonight, the first officially streamed game here of the Master League Standards. I am Dextron again. This time, though, I am joined by Mr. Pi R Squared. Man, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm excited to be here, and I'm glad to be here for the inaugural week of Season 15 for MLE. I've taken a season off, but I've decided to step into the casting booth, and so instead of being on the field, it's going to be a little bit of a different perspective for me, so I'm excited to get underway.
Hey, that's what I do. I don't play in this league. Everyone would beat me, and I would not be happy with that. So that's why I'm just stuck here in the caster's booth, but I like it.
Absolutely, and this game, first Master League game of the season on mainstream, going to be the Jets taking on the Knights, and as it is the first game of the season, it's going to be pretty wide open in terms of what to expect from both of these teams. But I'm excited to see what these guys have in store for us.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what the two teams have in store for us right now. These 6 players looking to start off their season really well, but again, week 1, you always have those week 1 jitters no matter what, and you also have the added bonus of being the last game on Saturday night here on the mainstream. You know that puts a little bit more pressure onto these 6 players.
Absolutely, and while it might be 10 o'clock on the East Coast, it's prime time on the West Coast. So I mean, no matter which way you look at it, you got to show up and you got to be ready to play. And for the players on the field, especially, it's going to come down to how well they've been performing in scrims, how well they've been performing as a team, and can they put together an entire 5-game set in order to make sure that they start off their season correctly. So it's going to be fun to watch once we finally get underway.
Yeah, so just like all the other series tonight, we're playing 5 games no matter what. First one to win 3 is considered as actually the person who will win the series, go up 1-0 on the season, but we'll still play all 5 games here tonight of this series.
Absolutely correct. And it's like we're going to be on the mic for a little bit more, as somebody in the lobby looks like they disconnected, so we'll get them back on the field as soon as possible. But in the meantime, I wish I had statistics to talk about so we could go over things, but it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be more of an even series, and in Master League especially, and threes. It comes down to positioning as well as how well you manage your boost, right? And for other leagues that I've casted, it's really a lot more about backboard defense as you increase in skill level, because if you leave that backboard undefended, we're getting to the level where players are able to take advantage of that.
Yeah, 100% agree with you. But like we saw in the last series, if you're going to come out on fire, you better be able to keep up that mentality and that pace throughout the entirety of the series. That last series, a reverse sweep coming out from the Wolves over the Foxes. The Foxes took those first 2 games and looked to be a very strong team in that first game and about half of that second game. But just after that, the Wolves picked up the pace a little bit and just kind of left the Foxes in the dust. You don't want to see that happen to these 2 teams here. You want to see a back and forth series with one of these teams coming out on top, but you don't want to see it in a reverse sweep for one of these 2.
You're absolutely right. And it comes, and if you want to talk about speed, it's not entirely necessary to always play at the fastest pace possible. You want to play at a pace that you're comfortable with, but also play at a pace that you can control the game. And if you can do that while making the other team uncomfortable in their positioning and make sure that you get the boost advantage while doing that, it gives you a significant advantage in any sort of series.
Yeah, but looks like all the teams are on the pitch right now. You'll have their Knights in their reds, the Jets in their grays here. We're getting started here in our final series of the night, and it looks like the Jets already are attacking the Knights side.
Demolition already coming out, less than 10 seconds played into this game. Physical play also going to be a hallmark to see who can get the advantage on that positioning, and also making sure that you take your opponent off the field. It leaves the wide open net for you to shoot at, and Leo not able to get around that one. Psych strikes first.
Yeah, Psych picked up the first stat of the game with a demo, then gets a nice shot off the sidewall here. Like you said, Leo just got to that ball a little bit too late. Jets already sitting on top here. Only 26 seconds into this first game, so a lot of time for the Knights to get back into this one.
A lot of time left, but with kickoffs like that, leaves a lot to be desired on behalf of the Knights. And my goodness, Jets flying high. and speedy start for them.
Very speedy start. Look at that. Leo in that back line. The nice fake coming out there from Hank. Just left that goal wide open. But it looks like, just from what I'm seeing, one of the players on the Knights is having some Wi-Fi problems here. But it looks like this first game will be played. And then probably after this first one here, we'll have a little bit of a break so we can kind of fix it.
Yeah, it's always unfortunate in the era of esports where you have players whose internet is not always reliable, but that's the reality that we live in. And the reality of it is, in a league that operates completely on the internet, so you're gonna have to deal with that the best you can. And maybe the Knights have their teammates pull through, and it's almost bringing one back for East Coast Ghost. It's a fantastic save on behalf of the Jets. JK trying to put that one into the corner. They'll do so and leave it for the Jets, and they're able to break out.
Knights finally got their first shot there in that last attack, but that's only their first shot. Almost a minute and a half gone in this game. Now the Knights playing this ball back into the Jets side here. 50-50 going to go in front of the goal, but it's Psych getting there first for the Jets. JK Frost, though, to keep it on this Jets side of the field. Off the sidewall, Manatee going to play it deep into that back wall of the Knights side. Manatee now going to center there for Psych, but JK Frost able to get there first. Now they're going to try to get a counterattack start here.
2v1 opportunity didn't exactly materialize, but they're still able to get it past one. Leo with a net to shoot at, puts it off the post just wide. Jets under siege. It's a little bit of trying to ping the ball away too much, I think, on part of the Jets. They're getting the boost, but then they're not being able to get that follow-up touch in order to secure their clear. Finally, they're able to do so, put it out into the corner, and get some sustained offense going. Nice
save there by JK Frost to keep this at 2-goal deficit here for the Knights. Ball back on the Jets side right now. Leo a little bit slow there. Also gets past East Coast there as well. Now Psych going to try to get past JK Frost, but JK Frost again, that's already their third save of this game. We're not even halfway through it. Now JK Frost carrying it upfield. 50-51 there by Hank. But now we see East Coast Ghost here. Going to try to play it off that high wall, but just misses on that touch. Psych going to try to get it out, but it does look like Leo's going to keep it in. However, Hank going to play it out to the sidewall.
And for one reason or another, they're really exploiting this near side where the ball side is on the field are the Knights, and they're trying to get something going. But so far, 2 quick strikes from the Jets haven't really had an answer materialize from behalf of the Knights, even all this possession they've had in the Jet zone. The boost and positioning hasn't really come out for them. Now it's in the middle of the field. Manatee's going to get a touch. Are they going to go for that double tap? They are, but backboard defense, again, so crucial. JK, make sure they get it for Leo and put it out away, and now they're on the counter.
Almost a nice shot opportunity coming out there from JK Frost, and just not able to get a strong enough touch on it. Now Psych can try to carry it upfield, loses that 50-50 ball. It's just hanging around midfield right now. Manatee gets the first touch there. Going to follow this up, gets an aerial touch there. Going to play it off the back wall, but no one following up there for the Jets. Still a 2-goal lead for them right now as we near 90 seconds left to go in this one. The Knights still only have that one shot to their name right now, have struggled very much so on the offensive end this game.
Struggled to put shots on, yes. Struggled in terms of absolute possession numbers, I would argue not. But again, if you're going to score, you got to put the ball within that rectangular area, and they haven't been able to do that so far. But I like what I'm seeing from them in enabling their offense to kind of push that line up. But the Jets, for all intents and purposes, they're in the lead right now, and they've only got 60 seconds to have to manage to hold on to it. And the way that the Knights are shooting the ball and the way that this ball is on the goal line, it doesn't look good.
And honestly, that was almost a mistake coming out there from the Knights. Manatee getting the demo there, but still a nice save coming out from the Knights to keep this at a 2-goal game. Hank gets a shot and just able to bounce over East Coast Ghost there to put the Jets up 3.
Oh my goodness, and it's one of those things where you expect to get a follow-up touch, and it's just an unfortunate bounce for East Coast Ghost, not able to get around that one. It runs up rolling on into the net, and about 30 seconds left in this game number 1. Jets sitting comfortably with a 3-goal lead, but again, still got a little bit of time. It's not all over yet for the Knights.
Yeah, I was going to say one quick goal could open up the opportunity for the Knights to get back in here, but as the seconds continue to just tick down here, as a double demo coming out there, it's just not going the Knights' way right now.
It's absolutely not, and still sitting at 2 shots, and now the ball's sitting in their end. They got to go the length of the field in order to get at least one back, maybe a momentum booster. But the Jets are going to say, absolutely not. Put another shot on. Have the Knights defense try and deal with that. And the ball ends up touching the ground. Jets 3-0 take game number 1.
Yeah, and honestly, we're going to see the stats here in a moment. It was just a dominant performance by the Jets. Like you said, that the Knights did have a lot of possession in the offensive side there. They just weren't able to get a lot of shots on goal in this first game, only 2. But when you look at the Jets, they had 9.
You're absolutely correct. And you look at the save numbers, and it's indicative of the Knights having to spend so much time on defense. But regardless of that fact, I still liked what I saw from the Knights on the offensive end. And it's not all about manifesting shots. If you can put whatever limited shots you have on target, that's going to be a little bit better, I think, for the Knights as they go forward. But the important thing for them is to establish the possession, which they did. The next step, I think, is to make sure that they exploit that boost advantage to see if they can do that. And also, we saw it early on in the game within the first 10 seconds, that physical play needs to come out for the Knights. If you remove players from the field on behalf of the Jets, it gives you a little bit more of an area to shoot at. It gives you a couple more seconds on offense for opportunities to manifest themselves.
Yeah, but I think we're going to have a little bit of a break here between games 1 and games 2. Those ghosts to try to fix their Wi-Fi here. I mean, they did pretty well for themselves there towards the end of that game. Maybe the Wi-Fi fixed itself, but it looks like they're still going to leave the lobby here, or at least try to fix it themselves before we get in the game 2 right now. But you know, like you said, the Knights are doing a good job keeping possession on their offensive side or the defensive side for the Jets there. They're not able to get a lot of opportunities on goal, whether or not it was just the Jets having some really solid defense or just not able to connect any passes to another player on the Knights to put a shot on goal.
And honestly, if you're looking at the Jets, the best defense is a good offense, right? And the fact that they got 2 quick strikes early on in that game, it kind of left a lot for the Knights in terms of a struggle being able to try and play from behind. If you're not able to at least start off on even footing for a majority of the game, then it ends up being something where you may not be able to come back from too big of a deficit. So if you're trying to maintain something like the Knights are, then I think you're going to have to get off to a better start.
I agree with you. It's like we're getting a server reset right now, so that hopefully everyone's playing on even terms here, or even connection.
Absolutely, and we'll try and get in as soon as we can. Hopefully the players will have better luck in this server than they did in the prior one. It would be nice, again, as you said, to have everybody on an even playing field in order to make sure that this match is as competitive as it can be. And while it was a good showing from the Jets, I think the Knights, if we're able to sort out what internet issues they may have, and it would contribute a little bit to making it a little bit better.
Yeah, it looks like some of the players are loading back into the new server here at the moment, or they're all leaving. But you know, Jets, you know, they had a good start to that first game right there. After all this gets fixed here and we get into the next server, let's see if they're able to continue that momentum and pressure they had from that first win.
Absolutely. And if you want to talk about the general league picture as a whole, it's really going. A loss in week 1 doesn't necessarily carry a whole lot of implications. You're going to want to end up doing your best week in and week out, right? But one loss in a series, it may come down to tiebreakers when you get closer towards playoffs. But the Knights, I mean, you've got a lot more current problems that you're trying to deal with, right? In terms of trying to make sure that you actually get into the lobby. But if a week 1 result, sure, it might be good for momentum and things like that. But if I wouldn't put too much stock into this, it would have to be a little bit more cumulative data that we could look at as the weeks go on in order to determine who really is the best in the league.
Yeah, like I said, week 1, first time probably playing in a really competitive match as a team. There's a lot of nerves, especially with it being a streamed game here. And then, week 1, there's still 9 more weeks left in this season. So loss in week 1 doesn't necessarily mean your season's over. You still have a lot of time to work as a team and improve.
Absolutely. And the results that you get, especially in week 1, are things that you can build upon, whether it's a positive or a negative result. You can take that game film and look at, okay, what do we need to work on? What are some things that we do well, and what are some areas that we need to improve at? And for the Knights, we've only got one game to look at. The same thing for the Jets, and I think it's still pretty even in terms of a matchup, but we'll see what happens once the rest of the series gets underway.
Yeah, I mean, I still think this is going to be a pretty even series. I believe as that first game went on, the Knights did look like they were improving as that first game, kind of progressed there. Yeah, the Jets ended up getting 3 goals in that first one. Knights not able to find anything, but like I said, they picked up some momentum. I think they really started working better as a team. Their defense got a little bit better as well. 5 saves in that first game. That's over half the shots that the Jets were able to put on goal there. So their defense is good. They just need to try to get something going on the offense.
Absolutely right. And it's gonna be a little bit in terms of trying to make sure that you find your teammates on those infield passes. You make sure that you exploit the space that the defense is giving you. If the backboard's available, that's one place that you could look to take advantage of, because the fact of the matter is, like we said in the pre-show, if it's there, these guys are capable of hitting those sick backboard double touches and even crazier shots that I can't even dream of being able to hit in free play, let alone in a game. But beside the point, I think we're good to go. I think we've got everybody in the lobby, and I think we're gonna get game 2 underway here shortly.
I think they have been told, or the players have all been told, just to get immediately onto the pitch here. And here we go. Game number 2, after a little bit of a delay there, is finally underway. Remember, Jets in the white cars, Knights in the red cars here. Jets currently setting up 1-0 in this series. Let's see if the Knights can get something going here in game 2, though.
Look to get something going, and it looks very well off of the initial kickoff. A shot already 1 of 2 from their last total in game number 1. It goes just off of that far post. JK tries to get a double tap off of that near wall. They'll take possession. Vanity doesn't get the touch that they're looking for into the corner, but they'll leave it for Shank. Puts a ball into the middle of the field, but it's recovered out there by Frost, and Knights will try and push down the field.
Already 3 shots coming out here from the Knights already in game 2. Already more than they had in the entirety of game 1. So this is a different Knights team we're seeing right now. They're doing a good job too, able to get the ball out of their zone here, but that wasn't necessarily a problem for them last game. It was just getting shots on goal, and they're so far already a minute into this one. Much improved for them right now. They have to get the ball away from their own net here. It's East Coast that passes it there to Leo. Manatee, though, gets the save. JK Frost, though, going to keep this in the Jets side. They're going to try to play it off this back wall here, and they're able to almost clear it, but Leo's going to keep it on the Jets side.
And the thing about the Jets is they're doing well enough defensively in order to keep the ball out of the net as that shot rings and gets put just wide, but it's looking very panicky for the Jets on defense. I'm already seeing a lot of double commits, a lot of instances where players are just banging the ball away. Had one earlier where they just banged it off towards the far side wall and didn't really have any productive touch to follow up with that clear. So that's one thing to take advantage of, because this incessant pressure from the Knights means that they go up by 1.
Yeah, what a great start here for the Knights. Already 7 shots on goal. The Jets have not been able to get anything going. They have no shots. And JK Frost there, a nice aerial touch there. No members of the Jets deep on that back line in the goal to deny that shot. And the Knights take their first lead of the series here.
And we had the whole storyline of the Knights struggling offensively after game number 1. And in this case, it's the Jets who are stuck on defense. They haven't even been able to register a shot, let alone do any sort of meaningful possession beyond the midfield line. Sykes going to get one and float that one all the way down a little bit towards that corner. But still, the Knights, they get that boost. They get up in the air and they turn that ball right back around. Incessant pressure on the offensive end for the Knights. And JK, looking for their second, gets beat out by Shank. Shank gets the aerial touch. Can they get it infield for Manatee? No, they're going to take it themselves. Solo play, flip, reset opportunity, not there. Manatee on the follow-up, also not there. Directed into the corner. Jets looking a little bit more promising.
Yeah, something finally getting going on the offensive side here for the Jets. Hank gonna try to carry this one in. Gets denied by East Coast, but you see Manatee there. Center it back there. No one for the Jets to answer that pass as JK Frost gonna clear it all the way back downfield. Or 50-50 now going back towards the Knights end of the field. Hank with the shot a little bit high, but they get a double touch there off the backboard and an assist to themselves to tie this game up at 1 with just over 2 minutes left to go.
You see the fruits of your labor. You have the advantage. You have the availability. The entire real estate of the backboard is available to you. Well done executing on that, noticing that, and taking advantage of it. Now it's a 1-1 ball game. Immediately off of the kickoff, it's the Jets looking to pressure once again. Psych gets a 50, but 50 doesn't go their way. Hank challenging on their own side of the field. Nobody ends up hitting that ball, and Manatee's going to collect it, try and take it to the air. Infield for Syke. Syke with a shot, not able to get it. Directed into the corner. JK on the counterattack. Flip reset. Manatee's there. And the Jets rallying on the defensive side of the ball.
East Coast going to keep this on the Jets side, though. Gets 50-50 there all the way across field. Manatee going to go for it. JK Frost there as well. Manatee kind of just plays that ball down to kill it. Leo gets a shot here, but it's denied by Hank. Ball in the corner now. Now it's coming out of the corner towards midfield. Manatee gets the first touch there, and this is looking on goal. It's just a little bit high, but you see Syke come back in with the rebound to give the Jets the lead.
That's one of those most difficult shots that you're looking at, right? Because you're expecting, oh, maybe that one's just going to go in. You might as well just go let it go in because you're not in a position to do so. But the rebounds are even killer in this league. And unfortunately, if you don't get the read initially, you're pretty much a sitting duck like Leo was in that net. And Jets, for all the struggles that they had in the first 2 minutes of this game offensively, they've rallied back to take the lead.
Yeah, but a misplay coming out there from the Jets. You see JK Frost leave it there for Leo. Leo gets a shot. A nice save by Manatee. That's already their 4th save of this game right now, but the Knights continue to apply pressure shot after shot coming out for them. Leo gets 50-50 there to the corner. East Coast just kind of missed on that one. Actually, it's a fake there. JK Frost gonna pick up out of the corner. It's a nice pass here, but there's no one there for the Knights to get a shot on goal. However, they're keeping this ball on the Jets side of the field. Fakes coming out from each side, but Manatee finally able to get the clear.
That's the thing about the Knights. It seems a little bit one and done, especially in the latter half of this game. And Manatee going to take advantage of nobody going for the Knights at all on the defensive side of the ball. It's a great pass from Hank off of the sidewall, and a little bit of miscommunication. Nobody's sure who's going to have that ball on behalf of the Knights. Makes it a 2-goal lead now for the Jets.
2-goal lead, 23 seconds left to go here. That puts the Knights in a very, very bad situation right now, as they need to find a quick goal here. A shot from JK Frost from beyond midfield was almost going in there, but again, Hank with another save there. 10 seconds left to go. The Knights need to find something, and they need to find something fast.
Gotta happen quickly. The time ends up running out. Syke trying to get one to go for the road. Manatee will put that one in the dirt. The Jets, same goal total as they had in game number 1, but this time the Knights get one back. Scoreline of 3-1 in game number 2.
Yeah, and honestly, just look at how improved the Knights were on the offensive side there. 15 shots coming out from them in this game. Jets only able to get 6, but they were able to put in half of them there. The Knights only able to put in 1 off of a great defensive performance from the Jets there. I believe that's 9 saves coming out from the Jets. So a lot of defensive plays coming out for them, keeping them in that game really, and it's probably the main reason they won it.
You're absolutely right. And the fact of the matter is, I think the Knights, you kind of saw it on that last goal that went in. They didn't really have a lot of saves. They need to do a little bit better in communicating who's going to go for a ball on their own, in their own defensive third. The issue I have with the Knights in particular, even though they did better than they did in game number 1 in terms of offensive production, There were just a lot of times where they had a ball on the wall, going into the corner, trying to play it to somebody in the middle of the field. There's nobody there for the Knights in order to take advantage of that play. And the fact of the matter is, as you get higher and higher in the leagues, you have to have a teammate and be willing to pass in order to make sure that you get that defense out of position. And you didn't really see a lot of that in terms of the Knights gameplay, but props to the Jets on their own defensive stand.
And now 3 games left in this series. The Jets only need to win 1 here to win the overall series, but we'll still play 5 no matter what. But the Knights have to reverse sweep now to win this first game.
Ball down, Cars are down, game 3 underway. Psych immediately off of the kickoff. Gets intercepted by Leo. Leo still on the sideball, but they're leaving for JK. JK gets the ball to come to them on the sideball, but they're not able to do anything productive with it. Ping pong back and forth in the middle of the field. Knights do press their advantage. And again, nobody in the middle of the field to receive that pass, and the Jets get their first clear.
Yeah, let's see what the Jets can do here on their first real offensive attack of this game. Psych leaving it there for Hank, but again, just kind of sitting in the corner. Now Hank able to get it past East Coast there. A shot coming out for them, but it will go safely across the face of the goal there. However, the Jets continue attacking here. Manatee going up for a touch there, but it gets played away. Now East Coast looking for something here. Fakes themselves out there, but Hank not concerned by that fake at all. Leo following up there. Shot coming out from both Leo and JK Frost. Psych, but with a huge save to keep this game tied.
To keep it tied, but only for so long. Leo on the attack once again. They're going to go for a full field air dribble. They don't get it, but they get a favorable 50 for JK to put a shot on. Directed all the way out in the middle of the field. But the Knights will take possession once again. JK with speed gets intercepted by Manatee and pushed it into the corner. Leo shot directed by Psych back into that same corner. And they're kind of stymied a little bit with going back and forth across the field, nothing coming at the net.
Yeah, and this is actually a little bit of a misplay here from Hank. The touch there goes towards goal, but no one there for the Knights to punish them right there. And a pinch coming out from East Coast there, but you see Hank on that back wall, able to play it out. Now Leo goes up for it, misses on it. Now Psych gonna try to get a centering opportunity here. You see Manatee go up, get the touch. Actually, no, it's East Coast who gets the touch. They also get the save there off that shot from Hank. However, Psych gonna keep this one in the Knights side. It gets played across field. Leo picks it up. Gonna try to pinch it past one. They're able to do that. Will they be able to get past Manatee? Manatee just whiffs on it. 50-50 coming out there, won by Hank. However, East Coast following this one up, might be looking for that double touch there. Not going to get it. JK Frost though with the shot. Manatee though with the incredible save.
Oh no, and that's one of the better chances that the Knights have had. If JK looked like they had faith that the ball was going to be there, I think they rotated out just a little bit too early, and by the time they got back around the ball, it was a little bit too late, and Manatee had already recovered. But still, good showing from the Knights so far, even if we're still level.
Yeah, 8 shots already on board for the Knights. I believe the Jets have 5 saves already, so their defensive dominance is still showing up from game 2 right now, and that's a nice 50 there by East Coast as it goes across the field, almost on goal. Gets counted shot. JK Frost. Leo gets the shot. JK Frost looking for another shot there. Gets bumped out of the way by Hank. Now you just see the Knights keep up this offensive pressure, but the defense from the Jets just winning right now. Leo though with a nice bump coming out there, gonna try to center it, but there's no one there as it gets played across field. However, the Knights still look to attack. Psych tries to end this attack right now by getting that demo, and they're finally able to, as Manatee gonna be able to clear it.
Oh my goodness, the Knights living up to their medieval heritage. They're just putting the Jets under siege right now. It's shot after shot after shot, and the Jets got a tenuous hold on their defense right now, and oh my goodness, it's available for Manatee. Last second save by East Coast Ghost means that JK's off and running. Can they put it high and get it into the middle of the field? They can, but a demolition on the backside by Manatee means that they've got space to work with on the offensive end.
80 seconds left to go in this one. No goal has been found as of yet, but the Knights sure as hell have been trying here, but the Jets defense has just been a little bit better so far. Knights keeping this ball on the Jets side right now, nearing a minute to go. They're looking for a good opportunity. This could be it. JK Frost looking for the double touch. They're gonna get it, but Hank with the incredible save.
Oh my goodness, that might just be the save of the game. Again, you had that whole backboard undefended. Might as well take advantage of it. They did. A great double tap opportunity, but put yourself in the right place at the right time. Means that they come away with the save. 45 seconds left. Could be staring down the barrel of our first overtime
of this series right here, but the Knights keeping this pressure up right now. However, we see Hank go up. It's an aerial touch. Hank from the sky gives the Jets the lead.
Oh my goodness. And for all the pressure that the Knights have generated, very much against the run of play is this Jets goal. And my goodness, they may have just stolen that game. And all it takes is one great upfield pass. You got somebody who's waiting for it off of the sidewall into the middle of the field. That's a picture perfect way to take the lead and perhaps take the game.
30 seconds left to go, but the Knights still have a lot to say about this run right now. It's on the Jets side of the field. Lear here gonna center it, but a nice touch there to get away from the goal. 15 seconds left to go now. Ball on the Knights side of the field. They desperately need to get the ball on the Jets side of the field if they want to have a chance in this one.
Gonna have a chance, but the Jets holding firm. And for the first time in this game, they've got sustained pressure and sustained possession on the Knights side of the field. The ball hasn't touched the ground yet. Leo for JK. JK Frost puts it on net. Is it there? No. Hank puts it off to the side. The ball touches the ground. The Jets, in whirlwind fashion, take game number 3.
And what a game it was. 13 shots on goal for the Knights. Only 4 for the Jets. But look at the Jets' saves. 8 in total for their entire team. Psych getting 4 of them. Like I said, their defensive pressure had been incredible throughout the entire game.
You're absolutely right, and that's what kept them in this game. And absolute props to the Knights in this one. They fixed what was wrong in game number 2. There were a lot more instances where they had a teammate in the middle of the field ready to receive those infield passes. The problem was the Jets were just in the way every time they tried to put one in the net. And my goodness, I'll say again, very much against the run of play was that goal for the Jets. But at this level, all it really takes is one good breakout, one good counterattack, and if you're out of position from spending too much time in the offensive end, it's going to come back to bite you. And the Jets, they took advantage of the limited opportunities that they had.
Yeah, and honestly, like that save there by, I believe it was Hank with about a minute to go, was the big difference in that game right there. That led them to that counterattack, that led to the goal there from, hey, guess who it was? It was Hank getting the save, going into the goal there. A nice overall play there from the Jets. However, the Knights from that first game have put up 28 shots, 13 shots in games 3 and 2. They're definitely getting good offensive chances, just not able to put it in the back of the net.
And for the first time in this series, the Jets failed to score 3 goals. We'll see if that's implicative of anything, but they still managed to get 3 game wins in this 5-game series. So now the Knights have a little bit of work cut out for them. They played a fantastic game number 3, but game number 4 is already off to a rocky start for them as Psych takes advantage early of this infield pass, and my goodness, bar down, follow it up yourself. 1-0 for the Jets.
Like you said, bar down and bar down again there. Psych able to put it in the back of the net. Starting it off early for the Jets here. It hasn't been since game 1 that they've been able to score this fast. It's been very late goals coming out for them, but East Coast gonna get a shot here. Psych with the save, but it's kind of sitting there in front of the goal. Nice play there by Hank to get it away from the goal. And now Manatee gonna pick it up off this sidewall. Doesn't have a lot of boost to play with. Gonna leave it there for, I believe that was Psych, but we see the Knights here clear it back down to the Jets side.
Clear it back down and put a shot on, and Psych rises to the occasion off of their own backboard. Pings it all the way down into the opposite corner, and they had an earlier opportunity, did those Knights, but again, just a little bit slow to that rebound. Not sure where that ball was going to go. Means that opportunity goes wasted. Hank challenges Leo in the middle of the field, and Frost misses that ball on the backboard, and that's not what you're looking for if you're the Knights at all. And Sykes says, thank you very much. I'll take advantage of another ball off of that backboard and add 2 to their goal total in this game number 4.
Yeah, and honestly, that was just a little bit of a misplay coming out there from the Knights. The Jets doing really good so far this game on the offensive side, getting a lot of pressures so far. The Knights, on the other hand, this is their best opportunity, but it goes off the post there, and Leo not able to get another redirect shot there. And now you see a fast break starting here. Psych gonna try to center it there for someone on their team, but Hank a little bit ahead of them, not able to get back to that one in time. Manatee, though, Gonna pass it here, centering it for Hank. Gets a shot there, just a little bit wide right. And now let's see if East Coast Ghost can try to carry this one out of their zone. Gets 50-50 though across the field. Leo is there, but East Coast gonna go up, get a touch, and play it back down into the Jets side.
And it feels like there's this running tally of how many times JK Frost has hit a post or just been not on target enough in order to have that ball go between the sticks. And my goodness, it's not for lack of effort, as East Coast Goats gets a demo and another demo to try and open things up for JK. And again, just a little bit too much off of that near post is that it bounces just wide. And they're going to get their opportunities. They're going with speed at every challenge that's available to them. And if it wasn't for them, their offense would have broken down a long time ago. But they're still keeping their team in it. They're still fighting for everything that they've got.
Yeah, and it definitely looks like they're trying to adopt a new strategy now on the offensive side. East Coast Ghost there got 2 demos that were trying to lead towards shots there on that last offensive attempt here. And look at it again. JK Frost trying to get something there. You see Psych get away from them, playing it out of the corner towards midfield. Leo, though, going to pick it up at the midfield line, play it back in, but we see Hank here clear it into the Knights side. JK Frost now has a little bit of an opportunity here. Not a lot of boost to play with, but gonna try to center it here. They do have Leo there, but maybe just a pass a little bit too far behind them.
A little bit too far, but again, much like we saw in game number 2, it's very well pressured from the Knights on the offensive end, and it's due in large part to the fact that JK Frost is just speedy to every single challenge, and they're winning every 50 like you see right there. And if it's not for them on the defensive end for East Coast Ghost to keep them back in this game, they're running out of time a little bit too quickly. They got to score 1, and as we've seen so far in the series, it may be a tall ask.
It is a tall ask for them so far. We're in game 4 right now. They've only scored 1 goal throughout this entire series at the moment. So, it's been hard for them to find any goals. Like I said, though, they've had a lot of shots throughout the first 3 games, 28 in total. They already have 4 here in this game. They just struggle to find the back of the net here, but it's not because of their lack of trying. The Jets defense is just a rock solid wall at the moment.
Manatee off of their own backboard puts it back into the corner where Leo will try to take possession. They don't have the boost. They can't follow that ball in the middle of the field. East Coast Ghost taps it towards the opposite corner. Hank there to meet it. And for a little bit, it's available in the middle of the field, but the Jets will finally clear. JK doing what they do best, intercepting that in the middle of the field, trying to keep possession, but it's a missed touch. It's going to go all the way back towards the backboard for the Knights, and the Jets, Psych, looking for that hat trick. They don't get it immediately, but they're on the ball once again. Can they get around it? No, they'll just put it into the corner and try and reset their attack.
50-50 here all the way back across field. JK Frost, and I believe Hank going for it. JK gets it there first. Gonna play it off that back wall. Psych tries to get out, but gets kept in by Leo. Now gets cleared out as Psych able to demo Leo there. That's Psych's 4th demo already of this series right now, but the Knights have a good opportunity here. Hank picks up their 4th demo as well. Shot on goal, just a little bit high. Here comes East Coast Ghost, able to bury the 2nd goal for the Knights this series.
Oh my goodness, you give them 1 opportunity, you give them 2 opportunities, you give them 3 opportunities, and finally they're going to find one that goes in. And the Jets, a little bit panicked on that last effort for the Knights. They saw two players commit towards the initial shot from JK Frost. If you're able to do that in quick succession, you'll be able to find something more often than not. But as time expires, Knights have to keep this one up and take it the length of the field if they want to equalize this game. Manatee keeps it up. Leo does the same.
So far.
Still available in the middle of the field. Somebody's going to have to do something here, but Hank puts that one all the way down into the corner, and the Knights run out of time.
Yeah, they got a goal there late, but just a little bit too little time left there for them to try to get anything going there. 2-1 in favor of the Jets in that game. Shots even across the board. Each team had 5. Same with saves. Each team had 2. So this was a pretty even game. Probably the most even game we saw throughout this entire series.
With the exception of game number 3, absolutely. But I feel for the Knights because I'm sure everybody has played games like this where no matter what you do, every shot that you put on, no matter how good it is, it just isn't finding the back of the net. And it's taking multiple attempts and getting those Jets defenders out of position in order to open up a window that's big enough for them to slot that ball in, like we saw the goal in this game. They can do a little bit more of that. The sustained pressure, they've had it. It's just they haven't had multiple shots back to back to back to back in order to make the Jets scramble.
Yeah, and I mean, you're just looking at it. They've got a lot of shots, 33 shots in total throughout these first 4 games. What the Knights have, only able to put 2 in the back of the net, though. You know, like I said, it's not for the lack of trying, because they are certainly trying. 33 shots through 4 games is a lot. Compare that to the Jets, who only have 24 through those first 4 games.
You're absolutely right, but they're masters of their own destiny, and being able to take advantage of the limited opportunities that they get kind of set them apart in this series. And as we move into our final game number 5, going to look to see if the Knights can manage to pull one out.
Yep, Jets already won this series. Knights try to get a little bit of confidence going into their week 2 game. It starts off fast here with a demo from Manatee, and the Jets looking to attack here to start off.
And I think that's one thing we haven't really seen so far on behalf of the Jets. On behalf of the Knights. It's the Jets that have been willing to play a little bit more physically and remove those players from the field in order to gain that advantage. And the Knights, it's a good a time as any to adjust the playbook a little bit and try something that you haven't really seen before. And speaking of that, East Coast Ghost, my goodness, almost put it in the back of the net with a fantastic double tap off the backboard. They're still on that backboard, available for them if Frost can get towards that ball. They're not able to do so, and the Jets try and push this one out.
Like, gonna back pass it there to Hank. Hank now clears it all the way in to the Knights side right now. Leo picks up a demo. That's their 5th demo of this series right now. And like you said, you know, the Jets have definitely been the more physical team throughout this series. Coming into this game right now, they had 12 demos as a team. The Knights only had 8. But we did see, I believe it was East Coast Ghosts, really start to get a little aggressive there towards the end of game 4, picking up 2 demos in what could have been 2 scoring opportunities, just they were not able to capitalize on the man advantage.
Manatee in the middle of the field puts that one, and East Coast comes screaming across the goal to save that one out towards the corner. And a big pinch brings it back the other way into the Jets' end. Bounces high, Psych not able to get there, but Leo's already up for it. Manatee in the middle of the field, not able to connect with that ball. Hank gets a little bit of a weird touch, and Psych all alone on their own end makes it 1-0 for the Jets.
Like finding the back of the net for the 5th time this series. That is the leading goal scorer so far for both teams combined here. But again, it looked like we saw a little bit of a weird play coming out from JK Frost there at the midfield line. Rather than going for the ball to try to keep it in the Jets side, they faked, let it come down, probably have their teammates rotate back. But even with 2 members of the Knights back there, no one on that goal line to stop that shot.
Psych will catch and get immediately pounced on by Frost. They try and get a redeeming touch in the middle of the field, but they're not able to do so. Leo puts it back all the way down into the corner. The Knights looking to start something on offense. The East Coast Ghost puts it on the near post, forces Psych to commit. Manatee will clear the ball and take it all the way down for their own follow-up touch in the corner.
Almost halfway through this final game of the night here. Jets currently sitting on top 1-0 Knights. You know, they've tried throughout this entire series, but the Jets defense has just been a little bit better. But that ball actually gets past 2 players right there, and it's on the Jets side of the field. Let's see if the Knights can get something going there. East Coast Ghost able to get it past 2 members there. It's centered there for Leo. Leo gets a shot, but Hank with another incredible save. That's their 3rd incredible save of this series.
I don't know how they keep getting away with it. It's crazy. It's like everything. That's the best setup that the Knights have had this entire game. And still, somehow, the Jets are able to put a body in front of it and keep it out of the net. My goodness. And JK trying to get a double tap. Is it going to go in? Finally, it does. And in no better way for the Knights to get on the board than a double tap from JK Frost. Look at this beauty. Oh my goodness. What an equalizer.
Even takes that little bump there from Hank, but they just wanted that goal so bad. They just said, screw the bump, went through it, got that double touch there, ties this game up with just under 2 minutes left to go. Now the Knights, I feel like that gives them a little bit of momentum here. Let's see if they're able to translate that into at least 1 game win in this series here tonight.
Would be such a monument to the hard work that the Knights have put in if they're able to claw this game away from the Jets. But Hank doing their best, going to keep the ball in the offensive end for the Jets. Manatee's shot goes just wide, and the Knights scrambling, trying to get back into position. Leo off of the backboard tries to get a touch on, and nobody's there. Manatee takes advantage of it and gives the Jets the lead right back.
Yeah, this has really been one of the first times I believe we saw the Knights be very, very flustered on the defensive side there. They had all three members there, but it seemed like it was kind of a flip of what we've seen this entire game. The Jets were getting a lot of shots in that sequence. Normally, we're seeing the Knights get a lot of shots, and Manatee puts them on top with about a minute 15 left to go. That's only their second goal of this series, but J.K. Frost gets a good centering opportunity there, but another incredible save coming out from someone on the Jets.
It's someone. It might have been everybody. I'm not sure. There were multiple Jets players in between the ball in that goal line, and with a minute left and two players removed from the field, it's going to be a tough ask for the Knights to get back into position, and Manatee takes advantage of the open space. Give them two in this game and a 2-goal lead back for the Jets.
Yeah, and you know what? That momentum I thought the Knights got after scoring that goal to tie it up, all gone now off of those two plays there, or 2 goals for Manatee. Like with 2 demos that really led that open opportunity for them right there. 50 seconds left to go in this one. Let's see if the Knights can try to claw their way back into this one.
It's going to be a long road ahead and not a lot of time to finish it, but it might catch the Jets out of position if Manatee's not able to get a touch. They are in the middle of the field. It's available for Leo to take possession. Manatee still finds a way to get interrupting this push from the Knights, not letting him get beyond midfield line. East Coast Ghost once again puts it there for Manatee. Manatee puts it for Hank. Hank trying to get a double. They're not going to have the boost to do it. And finally, East Coast Ghost says, I've had enough of Manatee. Get him off of the field. I don't want to see him anymore. You have to start from scratch, but it's still on the goal line. 10-second countdown means that the Knights might have run out of time in this game number 5. Puts it all the way, and the ball will touch the ground. The Jets, a master class on offense and defense, take all 5 games in this 5-game set. A fantastic sweep for them against the Knights.
Really a good, fantastic performance here by the Jets. Mostly, I want to say on the defensive side of the field. They scored 3 goals in 3 of the games of this series, but overall, they only scored 12 goals in this series. I believe they probably had at least 18 saves throughout this entire series here tonight. Their defense is probably what's going to take them far in this league for this season.
You're absolutely correct, and honestly, I think I'm a little bit partial to defensive-minded teams myself, and I think you hit it right on the head. I would rather have a defensively-minded team that is able to take advantage of limited opportunities rather than go into a shootout with another team and be reliant on just outscoring everybody. Now, if you have the best of both worlds, which the Jets, they may have, because they've been able to score. They were able to score 3 goals in 3 of these 5 games. So it's not without their offensive firepower. They had it on the defensive side too. Now, it wasn't always pretty. Don't get me wrong. They're going to have a lot of things to work on as they go forward. But it's a great first week result for them.
Yeah, like you said, great first week result for them. Their offensive side of the field probably could use a little bit of work here, but their defense really stuck it out for them this game. Hell, through games 2 and 3, they faced 26 shots and only allowed 1 to go in through those 2 games right there. Hell, they only allowed, I believe it was 3 goals in this entire series, in a point where the Knights definitely shot over 38 goals or 38 shots on goal in this series alone. So a great save percentage from the Jets here to start out. The Knights, on the other hand, they had a lot of offensive pressure throughout this entire series, just not able to find the back of the net. And I don't feel like that's going to be a big problem for them. It's just, I feel like this first week, they kind of ran into the wrong team probably.
I'd say that's an accurate summation of what happened. And sometimes the series doesn't go your way. The bounces don't go your way. You don't get the ball to go in, or it's like you don't get the touches off the post. Whereas I can't believe that wouldn't go in. And sometimes you just have to take your medicine. And you know what? The Knights, like you said, I think they'll be okay. And it's going to come down to whether or not they're able to adjust their play style on the fly. You saw it a little bit here in this series. I think they picked up the pace towards the back half. Games 4 and 5 were definitely played at a lot faster pace than the first 3 games. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more physical play from the Knights. It seemed like the Jets were the only ones that were meaningfully trying to take advantage of those demolitions and those opportunities to open up space. We saw on one of the final goals for the Jets in that game 5 was a result of them removing 2 of the Knights from the field and having so much space to work with. They could just put a shot on, nobody's there to defend it. For the Knights themselves, I think if they look to incorporate that and maybe a few other tweaks in their play style, they'll have greater success in the upcoming weeks.
Yeah, I don't think they have to really do much. Their offensive pressure really did show out a lot tonight. They did have 11 demos throughout this entire series here tonight, but I don't think a lot of them came on the offensive side of the field. I feel like a lot of them came on the defensive side of the field to try to stop the Jets, and a lot of the times they did do just that. They stopped the Jets' offensive pushes. But, you know, I think we saw 2 demos come out from East Coast Ghosts there in that game 4 on the offensive side. They just weren't able to have anything go or come because of those demos.
Absolutely right. And honestly, I'm the new guy here. You're the guy that's a little bit more established. So we don't have any more games, and I think that's gonna wrap up our evening here. It was great to hop in the booth for the first time on the MLE Network, and I'm excited to do this all again tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it as well. There's 4 more amazing series tomorrow. I believe they're all double series tomorrow that all start, I believe it's 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so 3 p.m. West or Pacific Standard Time, and those other times throughout the country and regions of the world. So, but make sure you tune in tomorrow to MLE for those incredible 4 double series tomorrow. I have been Dextron. That has been Pyard Squared. Thank you to everyone on the behind the scenes, Envy, and I'm forgetting some people's names as well right now, mostly because I can't see them on screen. But thank you everyone behind the scenes. Thank you everyone who came out to watch this night. Week 1 here, first main channel stream. I believe I saw over 150 people watching at certain points throughout the night. That is a great showing from everyone in the chat and watching this. It's great to see that many people. But that will do it for us here at MLE tonight, brought to you by APM Music. Hope you all have a great night and see you tomorrow.